Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be replacing the sway bar bushings on the 2015 Dodge Grand Caravan SXT. I've already got the front tires off. I'm up on jack stands, got it steered all the way to the left because I'm going to show you the passenger side, which most of the videos out there show you the driver's side. And there's a reason for that. The passenger side, this side, is going to be a bit more difficult. The driver's side's easier but less helpful. The sway bar bushing, this is the sway bar right here. The bushing is right here, and it's only held in place by a bracket, and it's got two bolts holding that bracket down. It's not a big deal, but getting access is the challenge. This is your tie rod, inner tie rod right here underneath the boot, and up here is a heat shield, and that heat shield is going to be a pain in the butt. And getting that loose and removing it is probably going to be the biggest challenge of all of this. But let's dig into it, and I'll show you how to do it. Let me try to give you the lay of the land for this heat shield. So I'm underneath the van, behind the front axle, and looking up. And this is the downpipe on the passenger side. And then coming up over the cross member, the black bar right in front of us is a sway bar. And if you look towards the outside, towards the wheel, you can see that's the sway bar and the sway bar bushing and the bracket. And there's one of the bolts you're going to remove to get the sway bar bushing loose. And the silver thing on top of it is that heat shield. And now if we go, see if I can even do this. The video views here are really hard. But in front of the sway bar, on the heat shield, you can see a little black plastic round thing. I think you can see it. That is a push pin fastener, like a plastic Christmas tree thing that's holding that side down. And then there's another one of those you can kind of see in the left of this frame, right below the sway bar. There's another black piece of plastic there. I think those two pieces of plastic are holding it down on this side. And I believe there's a bolt on the other side that you need to remove. So hopefully remove one bolt on the other side, and then we can pop this free. I know this is portrait versus landscape, but that's the best I can do to get a video view of it. And I'm not going to be able to get video of me actually taking it apart. But this is, again, at the front engine side of that heat shield on the outboard, on that top of that cross member. And it is a bolt that's holding that heat shield down. It's a 10mm socket that you're going to need. You can actually get up there and remove it pretty easily. Let me get this removed and try to get the heat shield loose, and then I'll let you know how it went. And we're back, and let me show you what I ended up doing. First, on the front side where the bolt is, it is indeed 10mm, but I could not get a socket stack up to work. There wasn't enough clearance, so I ended up using a ratcheting box wrench. I highly recommend you, if you don't have a ratcheting set, box wrench. I'll leave a link in the video description. That will be incredibly helpful. The bolt is obnoxiously long. It's not torqued down, so just get it loose. Then you can use your fingers to work it out most of the way. I've ended up putting gloves on because the heat shield is actually pretty sharp on the edges, kind of like working on your washer or dryer, which kind of sucks. But that comes out. It frees up that side. You can see, let me see if I can zoom in. Back here, if you focus, you can kind of see pointing down is the bottom of the plastic Christmas tree fastener. There you go. That is indeed what's holding this end down. There's one more towards the back, but I've got a pry bar, and I came in through the wheel well and pried up on this, and you can get it to push up at least far enough to where you can get clearance to this bolt right here for the bushing. And if you're going to work on the inner tie rod and the rack and pinion, you've got enough clearance in there to get your hand back to where the inner tie rod connects as well. But for the bushing, now we have access to this bolt and then the bolt that is right back there. To remove the old sway bar bushing, you just need to remove the two bolts that are holding the bracket down on top of the bushing itself. The front one right by the boot for the power steering. Well, both of them use 16mm, but the one by the boot, you just need to take your socket or ratcheting box wrench, whatever you need to get in there. Probably push the boot out of the way and then remove the bolt. And for the bolt on the back side, it's the same thing, 16mm socket or wrench to get it out. And then you should be able to pull up on the bracket and pull it off the sway bar bushing. One thing to note before pulling the bushing out, first there's a flat side to the bushing, and you can see that the flat is sitting against the frame. That makes sense. And then the seam of the bushing is pointing towards the front of the van. And so we want to replicate that when we put the new one on. Before I remove the sway bar bushing from the sway bar, I'm going to disconnect the sway bar link from the strut itself. And that'll allow me to move the sway bar up and down and manipulate things a lot more easily than if I try to do it with everything installed. And that's just an 18mm socket, and it should come free, but if the sway bar link itself wants to spin, you can use a Torx bit inside the center of the screw of the sway bar link and hold it in place using an open-ended wrench. And it's a T40 Torx to hold it in place. With the sway bar free to move a little, you should be able to reach in there and pull the sway bar bushing along the sway bar until you can get it to the curve, and then just work it off of the sway bar. Now that we have the bushing off, you're like, hey, Carbon, why are you even doing that? What's wrong with the bushing? And, looking at it, there's nothing wrong with it. I was expecting there to be cracks. I was expecting it to be completely worn. I was expecting it to be super soft. It's none of those things, which is unfortunate because whenever I, drive the van kind of like over a bump or something, just one side versus the other, I get a clunk. And it's not the strut, it's not the shocks, it's not the control arm. I thought maybe it was the sway bar, so I'm going to do the sway bar bushings. But I don't know, it might fix it, but looking at the state of the bushing, I assume the other side's the same. This one looks like it's in really good shape, and there was no gap between the bar and the bushing either. But anyway, this is what a 160,000 mile bushing looks like, and this is what the brand new one looks like. Now, one thing you also need to figure out is what size of bushings you need to get. Now, unfortunately, the Grand Caravan comes in at least 3 different sway bar sizes, 26, 27, 28 millimeters. And having a pair of digital calipers, you can put your caliper on your sway bar, and then you can measure the diameter of it, and then it's upside down, 28 millimeters. So this one's 28 millimeters. The 28 millimeter ones are actually pretty hard to come by, but the rule of thumb, I guess, is that it can compensate for plus or minus 1 millimeter. So if you can get a 27 millimeter, then that will work as well. I measured the old one. It is indeed a 28 millimeter. Best I could find was 27 millimeters, so that's what I'm going to install, and it should work just fine as well. But that's I'll leave a link in the video description, but make sure you measure your sway bar so you know if you need a 26, 27, or 28. To put the replacement bushing in, it's really just doing the inverse of when you took it off. You may need to use a screwdriver or something to pry the new bushing if it's really stiff, so that it'll go over the sway bar. Put it over the sway bar, slide it all the way back, and then the sway bar itself actually has a nice shoulder on it. So you just go ahead and push it in all the way until it stops against that shoulder. And after that, it's just a matter of putting that bracket back on top of it, bolting both sides down. And when you put the bolts down, do it evenly, going back and forth, so it compresses the bushing evenly. And then torque it down. I think it's to 33 foot-pounds, but let's be real, you're not going to get a torque wrench in there. So get it tight, and then a little bit, get it nice, good, snug and tight, and then 33 foot-pounds is, with a 3/8 inch ratchet, give it a pretty good pull. And as long as it's tight and it's not going to come loose, you should be in good shape. Now that we have that bushing bracket installed, we can go ahead and put the sway bar link back in place. That is going to get torqued down to 65 foot-pounds, and this is a good one that you should actually try to get it to torque. The last thing we have to do is put the heat shield back in place. There's the Christmas tree on the back side of it, and then that long 10 millimeter socketed bolt. You're going to have to do both of those by feel, but you do want to get those down snug because otherwise it's going to rattle. And then don't forget there's that back plastic Christmas tree that you probably didn't pull out. Make sure that that is all the way back seated down as well. Again, you don't want that heat shield to be rattling around. Other than making the video longer, there's really no reason to show you the driver's side. There's no heat shield, and the process is exactly the same. I just completed that. There was no hidden gotchas or anything, really straightforward. Probably took me a total of a half hour to get this side done. So the passenger side is definitely more difficult. That heat shield really makes things more complicated. But if you can get that done, the driver's side's piece of cake. hopefully the video is helpful. I didn't turn out I really needed to do the bushings, but now you know how to do it. Got to make a video out of it, so I guess it's a win for both of us. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Everything I use is in the video description. Until the next video, take care and have a good one.